Okay, so Rush Duels.
Yes.
What have I gotten myself into?
I will tell you now, a staple card in majority of decks is a spell card called Hammer Crush.
Hammer Crush.
Yeah, it's
familiar.
basically MST, but you have to send a card from your hand to the graveyard to activate it.
Ooh,
That's a card everyone runs. Everyone has a Hammer Crush in their deck.
in their deck.
Two or three.
Okay, so one thing I'm gonna do first is get up some deck lists.
I beg you, don't use dragons. I'm using dragons. Man.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
do
be
it.
using dragons. I'm just gonna be using like whatever I see. I like the look of. Or if I see a familiar cards in a deck, then I'll be like, okay, that's good. Although like everything looks different in terms of art and like
Yeah,
aesthetics.
the classic cards like the blue, like all the classic cards that are back in Rush Duels are different. Like Jinzo, Trap Hole, Card Destruction, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Shield and Sword. It's all different now. Yeah, and that's why I wish it came into TCG because. Bro, I would collect those. I would happily go and buy them, and I'd even play it. I'd even play the game.
I played the
This
OCG
Rush
cards.
Duels is so much more simpler
Yeah.
than what YuGiOh is nowadays. I find it's too complex.
It is way
I don't
too
know how to do
complex.
it. I'm just gonna stream snipe you, by the way. Usual.
Yeah, go on, just for now, yeah. So we're gonna be making our Rush Duel deck list, and I've just opened up YuGiOhProDeck.com, and it's got like a bunch of deck lists on their website. I'm seeing a lot of different cards. I'm seeing a Royal Demon deck, Dragon Sports, Joey's Ace, Ancient Arise Dragon, Yugi's Ace. These are some really interesting looking decks. So what did you say is currently the best deck in Rush Duels?
Basically, the top ones people usually use is Dragon and Spellcaster. Fiends seem to be a solid choice for some people. Like I
Right.
mean, I've played a few games. Well, I mean, I've only played against Fiend players, and they are really annoying to play against.
Understandable.
Yeah, I lost my first one because I was still learning how to play and the strategy behind it. And I got a bit greedy with some of my moves,
I
which
see.
kind of backfired. So, like I remember there was this one bit where I could have just won there and then. I think maybe I could have won if I just attacked with the monster I had, but I decided to summon another monster, which triggered his trap that destroyed all of mine, and I was like, right, well, I'm winning now.
Yeah.
No, it's so I don't know what it is about spellcasters because I've not used them, but dragons, their monsters have really good effects, but with fiends, it's their I guess they're captain monsters, like the top ones of the deck. They have really powerful effects, but also the spell and really it's the traps that go with the fiends that kind of give them that boost.
Yeah.
But then I guess if you have like a Jinzo or something, then you kind of just screw them over.
I see.
Because then they can't activate any traps, and yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I've just found myself a Fiend deck.
Oh, you're such...
Well, hold on. I don't know what any of this is. Okay, I'm like clueless. I'm looking at these cards.
I'm still learning myself.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
So I think one thing I want to go through before I start making a deck is just the rules for Rush Duels. If I can just see like what you're supposed to accomplish. So I'm on the wiki right now, and I'm just gonna read this out word for word. So it says the rules for Rush Duels share some similarities to those of Speed Duels, but have additions of their own. These rules are their primary differences that Rush Duels were advertised as having. Players can normal summon a set as many monsters as they want in a single turn. Oh wow. Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah, normal summon is unlimited.
Yeah, that's pretty big, because in normal Yu-Gi-Oh you only have one normal summon per turn. Level 5 and higher monsters must still be tribute summoned normally. Players start the duel with 4 cards. During the draw phase, the turn player draws until they have 5 cards in their hand. If the player has 5 or more cards in their hand, they draw 1 card. Okay, so you draw until you have 5 every time, or if you have 5 already, you draw 1.
So if you use your whole hand in one turn,
you can get 5 cards next
turn
turn.
again.
Yeah.
You're back to 5.
Wow. There's no limit to the number of cards in the player's hand. Okay, no hand size limit. The player who goes first is still allowed to draw a card. Okay, that's different to normal Yu-Gi-Oh. Usually in like Yu-Gi-Oh these days, the player who goes first is not allowed to draw a card for their turn.
Yeah, that's because you start with 5 cards.
Yeah.
In Russia, you start with 4. So then when you, I mean, I don't see the point of that either. Like, you might as well just start with 5 and not draw. But they say start with 4, but then draw 1.
Yeah. It's probably some sort of advantage or disadvantage to that. If a player would draw but does not have enough cards in their deck, that player loses the duel. Okay, that makes sense. Same as normal Yu-Gi-Oh! If you run out of cards in your deck, you lose the duel. The field is similar to that of Speed Duels. Players have 3 monster zones and 3 spell or trap zones. Although no extra deck cards have been revealed, there is an extra deck zone. Okay, so there aren't any extra deck monsters yet.
No, not
That's
yet.
interesting.
I mean, there probably will be in
yeah,
future.
Yeah. It sounds like there will be, according to this. No pendulum zones or extra monster zones. Unlike Speed Duels, players start at 8,000 life points and can have 40 to 60 cards in their deck. Okay, the effects of monsters on the field can only be activated once per turn while they're face up on the field. Card effects list their activation requirements and costs on separate lines to their effect to make it easier to understand. Oh, okay. So they've like restructured the text on the card. All the requirements and effects of a card are treated as being resolved at the same time. If a requirement or effect of the last used card meets the activation requirement of a trap card. Okay, this is more like this is a technical rule that we can like put to a side for now. If 2 or more trap cards can be activated at the same timing, only one can be activated. The non-turn player chooses first whether or not to activate a trap card. If they do not, the turn player can choose whether they would like to activate a trap card. Like Speed Duels, there's no main phase 2. Okay, and there's no standby phase.
Yeah, it's just draw, main phase 1, battle phase, and then end.
Oh wow. It's very, very linear. I also don't understand like the point of a standby phase in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I don't know why you need a standby phase, to be honest. Because like you can pretty much do everything you do on the standby phase on the draw phase of a turn. Okay, and the last thing is some cards are specifically marked as legend cards. A deck can contain a maximum of 1 legend card. So do you know what that means? What's a legend card?
A classic card.
A classic card. Why is it?
Why is it? Blue Eyes, Trap Hole, Card Destruction, Shield and Sword.
Oh wow, so these really powerful cards, you're only allowed 1?
Yeah, and you can only have 1 of them in the deck and side deck.
And then there's maximum summoning. Okay.
Yeah, that's really only important if you run a maximum attack card in your deck.
Right.
I don't run that because my deck is kind of to counter those types of decks.
Alright. Okay.
So I don't really run them because it is very finicky. It's basically like Exodia. You have to have all the cards in your hands.
Yeah.
And on top of that, your field has to be clear. You can't have any monsters for it to happen.
I see. Okay. So it's like very specific requirements.
Yeah, you need to have your main card. You have to have your left and your right piece. And you have to summon all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Then you get your maximum attack. But I think they're kind of easy to counter.
Okay.
Because like I said, you need to get the pieces in your hand, but no one really runs them.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get to that if we have to play against that. So let's just go back onto the deck list page. And do you think I should play this Fiend deck? I think it looks...
Go for it, mate.
Yeah?
If you got a Fiend deck, just...
So I'm just going to go on to Rush Duel. So I already cleared page out for this. Let's get to all the Rush Duel cards. Okay, so... Blue Eyes White Dragon legend card. I think we'll just copy this. So I need to type up Royal Demon. So we don't have this in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! The Royal Demon.
The only cards that we have in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Are the legend cards. The legend cards are from the original
I see.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Anything that's not a legend card is brand new to Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. It's not in any other form apart from Rush Duels.
So we're just adding cards. These are the 3 ofs. Royal Demon's Punk. Some interesting names. I mean, these are just OCG translations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt, like, if this stuff came to the TCG, this is not what the name's gonna be. Surely not.
I can see it.
You can see it? Okay. I'd be, like, a little bit unsure. Okay, they play Feral Imps. Feral Imps is a card I'm familiar with.
Oh, well then maybe not everything is new.
Probably not.
Feral Imps is definitely not new. I think you and I could definitely agree
We can
on that
remember
part.
Feral Imp very well. Babysitter Goat. These are some interesting card names. Okay. Royal Demons Group. So these are all normal monsters, right?
Normal monsters?
Yeah, because like, these are all vanilla white. You know, they don't have effects on them. Except for like these guys.
Yeah, my deck isn't all filled with those.
Oh, no, no, I mean, like, most of the cards seem to be, like that. But yeah, not the whole deck. King's Reward is Simum. Okay, this is obviously Legend. If you control a face-up monster, choose one spell or trap card your opponent controls, return it to hand. King's Dignity. Lastly, we have Epic Demon's Rock. I love these names. That is the whole deck. 40 cards, and then there's a small side deck. I love the artwork on these. I think this is good.
Let's get into it then.